Welcome to another episode of Young Learner. I'm Daniele Mingolla, and today I have the incredible honor to have as a guest Tanya, that is the CEO of Worldcoo, a company that combines technology and philanthropy in order to make impactful change. So today, of course, we are not gonna just talk about the company itself. Of course, we are very curious to know what Worldcoo is about and what changes is making like in the world. But I'm very, very interested in knowing the story of the career path that Tanya had, how she arrived to this position as a CEO, how she arrived to this leadership position, what are the challenges that she faced, and of course, if she has some suggestion, feedback for us. So thank you very much, Tanya, for being here. I hope that you are well.
No, thank you very much for hosting me, Daniele. A pleasure to be here with you today.
Yes, we met in Glow, right, during an hackathon, and we had the chance like to discuss 5 minutes. Then, of course, I said, okay, now I want to talk. I want to talk again with this person because I said I assume that she has a lot to say, right? So now we are here. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation. And I would like to ask you first of all, what are your current role, what you are doing in general, and what is Worldcoo for a person that has never heard about it.
Sure. I'm currently the CEO at Worldcoo. And for a person who has never heard about Worldcoo, Worldcoo is transforming the way we shop to build a better world, no? It's easy to say, difficult to do, no? But it's basically, we are a fintech that we focus on fundraising for NGOs around the world. And we use our technology and providers, merchants, shops around the world to make sure that we enable this fundraising and make it possible. So every time, for example, you go to a supermarket, to a retailer, to whatever shopping you're doing online or offline, you can round up your purchase or do a small donation to contribute to a social cause. That's what we do, no? And this is what enables Worldcoo to have already raised more than 20 million euros with cents by cent, no? Cent by cent, and held more than 800 NGOs across the world. So yeah, it's a small thing as fintech, born and raised in Spain, that in 10 years has managed to raise more than 20 million euros, and is looking forward to raise much more.
Yeah. Did you ever imagine that like 10 years ago that you could end up like 10 years later, like in this position as a CEO?
No, 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 no. No, I think we discussed it briefly the other day, no, but
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a combination of let it flow, no, and let the path throw me to the path, like to the experience that sounded challenging and interesting, and a bit of luck, that ended up like leading me to this position right
Yeah.
now. Because yeah, I think I will have never thought, okay, now I'm the CEO of this company, which has a super cool project, which I'm super proud to be part of.
Yes. How everything started, no? Can you explain us like your educational background, your first job? Because I'm very curious to know, no, from your first job up to now, what is happening in the middle, no? And if you are able to, what to say, if you look back, to define some patterns. Okay, maybe you change a lot of jobs, but all these jobs have something in common.
Sure. I think it all started at university, because I already I had my first professional experience at university while I was doing a master in Sciences Po Bordeaux, a French university based in political science. I was already doing a master regarding risk analysis in southern countries, and I was already confronted to a company that wanted to do a project with students. No, we're doing a project with students, that were understanding, kind of wanted to understand some African markets, including Mauritania. Back in the day, I was already collaborating with a company that wanted to launch a project, no, around there, and I said like, hey, oof, this I like it. I like to a project where you get to know international people, where you get to understand different cultures, interact with different teams, no, and different people to make this a reality. So I really like the team, the be part of a team, no, that you make something, accomplish a project itself within a team. And I think this is something that, if I look back in all my experience, has been these components, no, like international experiences, the chance to travel a lot, the chance to meet different people, different cultures, to do projects that enable us to be a team. I think I'm not a good individual contributor as it is. I like to be within a team, and drive the team to success. And this is something that I think in all the experience that I have done afterwards, I started university and then afterwards, has always been there, no, and repeated itself. because after university I jumped into a French company in Paris, and I realized like, hey, my first like internship was like, no, 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 I want to go back to what I did in university. And I briefly, I mean, very, very quickly, I moved to Spain and to a company that was all doing Sagacity research, which was doing research in African markets with local teams, operations. And I got the chance to be doing 3 years traveling around African markets, doing different kind of projects from different sectors, retail, FMCGs, well, all kind of sectors. And I think this is something that then afterwards I arrived to Glovo and then even to Worldcoo, and it's something that I repeated again, no? Like, hey, project where you have different people involved, different international cultures, yeah, and you get to learn a lot on the go. And I think this combination of this path, no, like getting these kind of all experiences ended up be right now at work as a CEO, because it's the same, no, a challenge with different cultures, expanding to many international markets. Yeah, and this is what I enjoy the most, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Can you tell to people, because I already know more or less the story, because as I said, we already had the chance to discuss. But how did you start working in Globo, right? Because it's quite, I would say, quite fun, but at the same time, I think it can teach us like an important lesson.
I think it was like back in the day when I joined Glovo. I didn't. I think I hadn't ordered Glovo before in my life, so I haven't tried the service it is. But I got in touch with a friend of a friend that was joining Glovo and was looking at expanding into African markets. And I at that time I had the expertise of, hey, I know how to do kind of like not expanding in African markets, but at least I have worked with more than 8 9 African markets on the ground, and I know how to deal with the local operations. I know the cities, I know a lot about it. And when they were starting to recruit people for launching African markets, I was there, like I was there in the good moment, no? Like I was on the right moment of this moment. Like, hey, we're looking into African markets. I have expertise for African markets. Let's briefly talk. And at the first time I got in touch with Glovo, I was like, no, these people are crazy. They say they want to go to African markets. I don't feel they have like preparation, or they're like very clear what they want to do. Basically didn't basically did no, they wanted basically to convince investors that Africa had potential. And I joined the project like, hey, venga, let's do it. And it started like this, no? I started like as an analyst for Africa. Was the first Africa team member, no, of the global team. And then rapidly afterwards, I started like analyzing countries and say like, okay, out of all the African markets, which ones are more interesting, which one have more potential for global, no, which is a delivery player. So I started like traveling around all the markets and say, okay, this yes, this no, this does maybe, this maybe in a few years. And when I came back to headquarters Barcelona, very fast, he told me like, hey, okay, you analyze the market, but we need to launch the market. You say yes to this market. We, as a board, agree that this market has potential. Let's launch it. And I think that's why I became from then from analyst to a launcher. And my first market was Kenya, and I was there sent with a colleague of mine, Diego Valera, who was also the launcher of Latin America, many markets in Latin America, and I learned a lot. And then when I finished the launch of Kenya, I came back again to Barcelona. They told me, Tania, we don't have anybody that speaks French within the team. I think you enjoyed being launcher in Kenya. Why not Cote d'Ivoire? That you said also the green light. So then I moved to Cote d'Ivoire, and then it was a super experience there. I loved my experience there. It was such a great time of my life. And whenever I was in Cote d'Ivoire, I was struggling to find a general manager. No, when you launch a country in general, like you're the person who kicks off the project, but then you find someone more stable that to lead the country in a permanent way. No, at least for a couple of years. And I was struggling to find a general manager there. And the occasion popped up. I said, hey, do you want to stay as a general manager while we find one? And it was, again, a bit of like, I'm enjoying this a lot. There's a good opportunity. Let me do it. And then from then, I moved I was like, after 3 years being on the ground, I was like, let me go back a little bit home. I wanted to go back to Barcelona, and it was just on COVID moment. So it was just when just
Mhm.
COVID arrived, I was flying back to Barcelona for a position that at that time was they were looking for someone, and they thought, hey, maybe Tanya is the person to go back to Barcelona and lead this position. And at that time was like creating kind of or revamping a little bit the Glover experience team. which was the team in charge of the courier experience, no, like how we make sure that the couriers are happy, safe, having good earnings, enjoying the ride, no, until they want, no, like how we make the most out of this job or this opportunity, and how we make it like at a global level, no. So that was, I think, the fun part. Like I was super focused on African markets, and then in this position at global level, I got to work with 24 markets, which being a courier in different markets has been super different, no. And it can be like super challenging because what a courier thinks in Kazakhstan is not the same as what a courier thinks in Cote d'Ivoire or in Spain. So yeah, then I spent 3 years in this position, and again with a bit of combination, I think I was having like a lot of fun in this position, and it was a moment, okay, what's next? And at that moment they told us, no, that Globo told me, Tania, we have bought this company which is called Worldcoo, and we think you're the person for this role. And I was like, for sure, I love impact. I love. It seems a super interesting project. They're very small with willingness to no to make it
Yeah.
boom or to grow a lot. And then I ended up like this. So
Yeah, no, what I really like about your story, no, and I want to open this very huge parenthesis, is that, no, while you were talking about your experience, no, you mentioned a lot of time the word opportunity, the word like, yeah, I was like in the right period, or things like that, no? Of course, we know that luck plays a very important role in our life, no, but I think that your case is like literally like the representation of when skills, talent, and opportunity, right, find like at the right moment and the right place, right? Because otherwise, for an external person, could seems okay. This person went there, then she joined Glovo, then Glovo people offer her this opportunity, then she accept. No, it sounds like to say very simple, very easy. You know what I mean? But at the end, I think that the true answer here is that over the time you develop very important skills. You become very good in doing a set of things, no, and people noticing that. And then, of course, when opportunity arrived, you were like able to take them. But
yeah,
why? Because you invested X years of your life, right?
but I think also there are many things that I didn't have as skills, and I think the mindset that I really liked, and I think that I keep in my day to day is like, hey, not to fake it until you make it, but kind of learn by doing. And if you don't have the perfect skill for the job, and you don't, but you think it's an interesting challenge, and you're in to put everything in, what you need to put there to make it happen. I think this is the attitude that you should have in any kind of position. No, so whenever I take a challenge, like, well, no, you think I'm the person, I will trust that I'm the person for this, and I will learn. And if it doesn't work, there's not a big deal. I will find another challenge. I will find like, another experience. I think, yeah, maybe this the combination of skills, but also trust in my profile, no, for doing this, put me in the position where I am now, no.
Yeah, don't wait until you have 100% of the skills, no, that are requested in the job
Yeah,
description, but maybe if
you
you have
will never have
80%.
them. You will never have them, Daniele. I think no, there's no job description that will, for me, but for other candidates, you will never have a profile that fits a job description 100%. But hey, are you keen to learn fast? Are you keen to, to jump into the challenge? I think this is and this, I think, when you do an interview, no, and you interview people like in Glovo, in Worldcoo, in like previously before I interview a lot of people, you see it very fast, no? Like, is it the person that has the right attitude and the sparking thing that you're looking
Yeah.
for, even though maybe this person doesn't match all your requirements that you had in your to-do things of this person.
Yeah, this is something that I also had the pleasure to talk with Oscar Pierno, the CEO of Glow, and this is something that also he said to me. He told to me, no, that of course skills are important, but then at the end you are for the attitude, right? Because you already know that the challenges are always new, especially in company like Global Worldco, no, where there is no, I would say, stability, right? So you always need to change to use new tools and so on. And there are, I mean, also when you were talking about your story, no, everything like seems to be quite let's say simple, right? But I would like to ask you what have been like the main challenges, the key challenges that you face, and how did you overcome them? Like I would
Ui,
say the top three, what you have learned from them,
the top three challenges. Okay, I have
because I
had
don't
like
want to believe, no, that
no, no, no. I have
I don't
had
want to
like
believe
many
that you change
challenges.
company.
No, no, no. I have
Yeah.
had many challenges, but I think I have always been very supported. So I think I learned to laugh about the challenges, because if not, like I will become crazy, no? But I think like one of the biggest challenges I've confronted was like when we started the launch of Ivory Coast back in the day with Glovo. I give an example. We were launching Ivory Coast Market, and 2 days after the launch, we're officially launching. The government decided that motorbikes, which was our main vehicle for couriers to deliver orders, were banned in the city. Like that, it was too dangerous, and motorbikes had to be banned. No, so after today's operation, we're like closing operations after 2 days of launching because the police was arresting the couriers that were delivering orders with us. So we had like to kind of, for the first time in level two, they had to close down the whole app and turn everything down because we're having a police behind us, no? Like we're having like the security and couriers being arrested because suddenly there was a kind of new ban arriving, no? And I think these moments, I think are quite fun. Kind of the challenges that you face when you're in the no on the ground is like, hey, you never know what's gonna happen, but you need to be prepared, no? And you need to have a team that surrounds you that has the skills, no? Like, hey, I have my legal team, I have my operations team, I have people on the ground, so I like you have resources for dealing with any kind of situation. But I think that for sure was one of the biggest challenges to like face like, hey, you're launching, you're super excited, you have a team, you're like ready, you have customers waiting for your orders, and you have all your couriers, half of them at the police station waiting for them to be free, and paying the bill for to get them out because suddenly there's a new law that arrives and I was announced 9 a.m. in the morning suddenly. So this is one of, I think, of the biggest challenges. I think second challenge, I think, well, I have faced like many, but probably like facing different cultures, no? Working with different cultures. I have worked in many markets, in different markets, even before Global, no? I have been working in Mauritius, in Ethiopia, in many, many different markets that have very different relation. Well, they have different ways of working and different ways of understanding what is right, what is wrong, how to do things. And I think this has always been a challenge because you get many, no, you have a lot of conceived ideas, no, you think that when you know you're young, etc., you're up with like, hey, this is the right way to do it. Maybe you find like, no, no, in this country this is not the right way to do, no, and you have to do business here, you have to do it in a different way. Or for example, like in Ethiopia, you have to do business, you do it with the coffee ceremony, eating popcorns at the same time because this is how you do business, no? Or when you go into Mauritius, there's another way of also collaborating. The same happens in Cote d'Ivoire or anything. So I think the challenge of being faced to different cultures and adapting, I think is one very exciting, but also is very tiring, no? Because I think it's one of the things that take you more energy of a day, no? When I think when you're in front of different cultures and different challenges in different markets around you, you're speaking a different languages, having to follow different codes of no of ways of working and day to day, you end up super tired, no? It's super interesting, but you end up super tired. So I think this is another challenge, you know, like how to face different challenges with when you're compared to different cultures. And then third, I think leading teams that I didn't know what they were doing, no? Like leading teams that I was not expert in the topic. Like, hey, you're leading a team, like even for example in Global Experience, you're leading a team in operations. I didn't know anything about operations. So hey, how do I make myself confident that I can lead a team which I'm not understanding, no? Their core business right away, no? And I think here what is key is to spend a lot of time understanding what your team is doing. I mean, being on the ground, understanding what's happening, and don't be scared of asking questions, because as managers, no, when you're leading a team, you're like, no, you have to make sure that yeah, you have an image. You cannot be seen as silly, no, as like, hey, he doesn't know or she doesn't know about it. So it's very easy to say like, hey, I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna let let flow. And I think one of the biggest challenge you have to face is like, hey, no, you have to be, I think, in the sense humble, say like, no, I don't know anything about this. Unless I do a master or I really get close to this person or I do like millions of onboardings, it will not make it, it will not work. And I think as managers, it's easy to say like, to have this phase of like, no, this initial standpoint of like, hey, you take this stance and you say like, you let it, you not you fake it, but you make sure that it looks like you're under control, and sometimes you're not under control, and you really need to get close to what's happening on the ground and understanding exactly every single metric, every single detail of your business to really make it, to make it grow. Which I think sometimes is not easy when you don't know about what you're talking about, or it's not your area expertise. You need to really be, hey, I'm not. It doesn't mean area expertise, but I need to really deep dive and get an expertise on this topic, no? And this happened to me, for example, in Globe several times, but also in Worldcoo when I launched when I arrived to Worldcoo, like fintech. didn't know anything about fintech. Now I'm not an expert either, but I think by getting curious and getting involved in the meetings I need to be involved and spend a lot of time with the team, I'm getting better. Probably I'm not an expert, huh? But I think this is a challenge that will, in all my experience, was common, no? So again, first one, we were discussing before, no, like getting into contact with cultures, different cultures, and how do you make your day happen, no, with all this. Second, probably like getting or leading things that you don't understand or you are not expert in, no, you're not an expert in all the topics. And I think the first one I mentioned, I don't know if it was like about adapting. I think I forgot.
Adapting, yeah.
Adapting to
Yeah, adapting to the environment, no? Because when you
adapting to
launch in that new market, there were like some regulation and so on. But that's I have to say, all the dots, no, that come together, no? In the sense, what you were saying before, no? You don't need to be 100%, just a 100%, no, match. There should not be, sorry, a 100% match between your current skill set and the problem that you're facing. No, of course, you need to have like the basic understanding and be really willing to talk with people, be humble, no? Be able to say, hey, I don't know this, I'm gonna ask. Also because otherwise your team, otherwise your team will also know this. No, your team will start noticing that you don't know things. So if you keep faking for too
exactly.
long, then this will
Exactly.
also have a negative impact, no, on your team. And yeah, so yeah, this is what I'm noticing, no, from your, I would say, from your attitude, no, willingness to learn, be humble, communicate, and then I have
You're flattering me, Dani.
no, 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 Viva. That's the honest answer, no. And now I'm willing to know in your experience, no. I assume that you work with very different teams, a lot of different people, and so on. If you need to imagine that you need to write like a summary of the characteristic of the most successfully, sorry, team that you lead. So imagine like the most successfully lead team that you lead, and what are and what were the characteristics of these teams? In your opinion, what are the characteristics that make this team outstanding the other?
My number one characteristic, and this is something I look in every interview I do, is the
Mm-hmm.
attitude. For me, it's a go and on go. I think you see it very like is the attitude you're looking for. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like depending on what you're challenging, you're looking for someone that hey, and I read somewhere not long ago, I don't remember who quoted, no, but it was like attitude multiplies. Like attitude really multiplies, and I really think it's key, no? Like, hey, maybe this person is not in an expert, hasn't done that much in this job, doesn't have much experience, no? But attitude is something that I think when you have a team with the right attitude, like all going to the same direction, it's a game changer because you not only like succeed, but you enjoy it. No, you really enjoy it as a team, like successes. So I think first focus this is like for sure attitude number one. Second, I will say top talent. I will not lie, like hey, you need to go for top talent. I think it's very easy to like despite how much it will cost in your P&L, how much it will cost, how much it will cost you in your company, or how hard it will be to find this top talent, no? Because sometimes finding top talent, hey, it will not be the first 10 interviews you do. Maybe you have to be like the 30th interview, you will find the right person, no? And sometimes you're like, as a manager, you get tired and it's like, I need to fill the position right away. And I think it's a mistake. Sometimes we are in a rush, like I need to fill it right away, and we jump into the first person we cross, and maybe it's not the right fit for the position, no? So I think when I think about successful teams that I had, like first attitude, second top talent, they were right fits for the role, no? They were like people that were having the right attitude and they were coming from a background that you were setting people to success, like that was for sure. And third, I would say that fun, because I think when I think about a successful team, like you spend so much hours with the team, like you spend like when you're doing any job, you're launching a project, it can be in any company, you at least it gets very intense. In my case it gets very intense and you spend a lot of hours with these people, so you need to make sure that your team, hey, has the attitude, is a top talent, but also is having a lot of fun and kind of is enjoying, no, the whole experience. Because I think you can get many jobs in your, in your life, you can do a lot of things in your life, but you spend like more than 8 hours per day with people around you, that needs to make sure that you have some fun you have some fun doing the whole project. So yeah, I think attitude, top talent, and fun, no, and like this attitude of having fun while you're enjoying your project, no, and the challenge, are key, and that are what are the make a team a successful team for sure, a top team.
Yeah, especially the last part, related to the fund and and to hiring top talent, no? Because of course top talent typically go to top company, no? Because they know how worthy they are, and there is a lot of competition, a lot of demand for them, no? So it's not easy for the companies also to hiring them, and this make me think, no, about how important is the hiring process, no? That a company should really invest a lot of time in order to define what they really want from a candidate. At the same time, how important it is for the candidate, no, to be sure that the company where he or she will go, it's the right fit, no, because otherwise this, to say, this talent and this attitude maybe, instead of being a multiplier, I don't know, imagine 5x will be, I don't know, 1.5x in a company, just because there is no right fit, no. So
No, no, no.
it's not a win to win.
It's a very
Clearly.
hiring. I think is a very complex thing to do, and I think again you can be very. I think the biggest mistake that we're all tempted, no, like because we all when we have a team, like sometimes you have a lot of backlog, and you're like, hey, I need to replace this person right away. I don't have time to waste, and you everybody's super tempted, like, hey, let me do 10 candidates. I will take the better of the 10. But if nobody of the 10 was the right one, they're like, no, you should like, be persistent on that side and keep looking for the person, and don't be scared of, hey, maybe this person was not applying to the job because maybe they didn't know you're not big enough. So you need to poach. So you need to be aggressive on the way, like, hey, let's not wait for them to come to you. Let's go for them. No, and like maybe you have sometimes a people partner, like a HR manager helping you out, but maybe you don't have. You still need to spend maybe a lot of time on LinkedIn poaching and saying, hey, what I'm looking for, no? What are the companies I will be looking for if I was looking for top talent? Okay, out of these people, how many years of experience I'm looking for? And you start filtering, and you start, like, to be honest, you start spamming the talent that you're willing to know to get. Not spamming, but you go for them. Maybe they will read you, maybe not, but you have to try it, because most of the cases, people that you were looking for, maybe in 80% of the cases, were not in your perfect matching of,
Sure.
of profile, and maybe they were not applying because they were not fitting exactly what you were looking for, no. So yeah, I think you need to be, but it's a lot of it's super time consuming, when I'm not an HR expert, of course, but when I see what they have to do day to day, and when I have to recruit, is like, madre mia, like this is like
Yeah.
an intensity job, like
No, it's
a
very
very intense
difficult.
job, but a very needed job.
No,
So
it's very difficult. It's very difficult because, as you said, also it's very important how the company present the job itself. Because I know a lot of people that don't apply to a job because they don't match 100% the job description, right? So we know that maybe you should apply the same, but a lot of people don't know, they don't feel like so comfortable with their skills and so on, so they don't apply, and so here there is a problem for both, no? The
yes,
company
no, no,
that is
no,
losing
yeah,
like this opportunity
for
to
sure.
get this person, and the person that is losing the opportunity to enter in this job. But closing 1 second for this chapter, I want to remind you about a fact that you told me, no, when we discussed. Correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I missed some details. But I remember that once you told me that you were like in Italy for a travel, right? For a job travel, I assume, and you noticing that when talking with other people, especially men, no, in leadership position, they were like a bit, how to say, surprised that you were like already leading teams, no, and so on, and you were a woman. So I would like to ask you if over whole your career you have experienced like some specific challenge, you think, related only to the fact that you were human, and if not you specifically, if you know other people, other human that in a leadership position, or but in another position in general, that have experienced challenges, and what type of challenges, and if they have overcome them, and how.
See, I think more than women was like the fact that I was very young. So I think I like I want to believe now, or people tell me that I look very young in general. Not sure how old I look, but at least people tell me that I look younger than I am. And I think in general was the impression like, hey, this person so young, is she experimented? No, does she has experience enough to talk about business, to talk me about something that's so important for my role, no, for my job, or for my day to day operations, that she's too young, no, she doesn't have experience, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So I think women, of course, there's some scenarios where you get to see with a room plenty of men and there's no women, so it's sometimes not more, it's not like that you will not be heard, but it's more uncomfortable because you need to raise more your voice, so you need to be like stand up more, to make sure that you're, like you're in the conversation and you're not like, yeah, you're not driven by the rest of the team, no, like that you are really having a voice there. But yeah, I think it's more than women. I will say that it's more a fact that, hey, you're too young, no, like, and the question, hey, how old are you, happened to me so many times, like, hey, you don't ask me this in a meeting, no, but how old are you, like, you look super young. It happened to me so many times. And then another question, are you married, millions of times too, like, hey, you don't ask neither too, like, they're like, you don't ask this, no, and probably these questions don't happen to men that often, no, maybe when you're a young guy, maybe these questions pop up less. But yeah, again, I think I have always taken it like as a well, yeah, I'm young, but I'm very convinced about what I'm here to sell, no, what I'm here about the project. So either you take it, either you're losing a super huge opportunity, no. And even I think it's something that not only happened in business, but sometimes you hire people that are older than you, no. It happens, you hire people that are much more older than
True.
you, or because they have a lot of experience and everything, and it can be at the beginning no, uncomfortable, because you're like, hey, they're older than you, and you tell them what to do or what you think they should be doing, while they're having maybe 10 years experience more than you. So I think it's a matter of being very open, very transparent, and like not make such a big deal about it, like, hey, I'm gonna like they are gonna ask it to me. Like, I'm gonna say that I'm still young, yeah, but that's gonna be like, not taking it too seriously, or not taking it, like something as something to really be obsessed with. And then, like, hey, if you prove that your business works, no matter how old you were, no, if you make it happen, I think that's the main goal behind.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. And so, do you think that at the end, if I'm gonna ask you, what are some suggestions that you want to give, like, to young women aspiring to leadership role? I assume they will be more or less the same as if I asked you to young men, right? You don't have any like specific, I would say,
No,
suggestions, also based on your experience and on fact that didn't happen directly to you.
I think it's whenever you have a chance to lead in a role, no, you can be women or men. It's like, if they ever give you the chance, like, and you think that you're the person, you should trust that you are the person for this role, because they chose you, no, like they chose among many people, like, for this role. Hey, you should believe it. If it doesn't, I mean, again, I always say, like, hey, if it doesn't work, if I don't do it right, I will have tried it. If I, at the end of the day, it was another person, it's not because I didn't have tried it. Not, I will give my best to make it a success. If it didn't work, at least it would be like, conscious free, like, hey, I did my best. I put everything on. I was saying, like, in Spanish, toda la carne en el asador. No,
Mhm.
I did it. I gave everything,
Yes, yes.
and if it doesn't work, we start again. And I'm again. I'm not a doctor, no. I'm not a person who's saving lives. So maybe if I make a mistake, there's not such a big deal if I was a doctor, no. But I think the mindset that I have, is probably this. And yeah, the advice I will give to everyone, like, in a kind of like confronted to a manager position, to a new challenge, it will be like this, like, hey, try it. You don't lose everything for trying. They trust in you. Give it a try. And if it doesn't work, there will be a million other options, million other companies, million other challenges. But at least you will be like, hey, I gave it all. And then and then you see.
Yeah. No, it's incredible how driven you are as a person. I'm curious to know what keep you like motivated, because you now when you talk, you say, okay, let's try this, okay, if we fail, okay, let's try another problem, and so on. And everything seems like so easy, like for you not to jump into a new ship and fight and so on like a lion. But I'm really curious if you have, I mean, do you think that it's like your something intrinsically like in your nature, or do you think, or do you have like some goals, something that keep you like motivated?
I have to say that it's true that I'm a very positive person in general. I have to say that's like my dad. I'm a very positive person. I know that I have a bias, but I think, I think what keeps me motivated, like, hey, I'm a very curious person. I love to learn. So if you give me something I don't know about it, but it's a cool challenge, I will be like, wow, this is for me, and I will learn. I was like, the worst case scenario will be like, hey, it's not gonna happen, but at least will have learned, um, a bunch of things that I didn't know before. And you were telling me it has been something that you have always been like, when I first started university, I didn't know what I wanted to study, and I ended up picking no, not a company, a career that was political science in French, in France, which was a very diverse career. No, I was like, I was going to France to study for the first year, and it was about, hey, learning political science, but law, economics, many things. And I was like, hey, I don't know if I will like it, but if I'm not liking it, at least I will become a much more brighter person afterwards this career. No, I will try, like, the first year at least. It will give me a lot of
Mhm.
basics and information that I will not have done, I will not have had before. So yeah, I think I'm always motivated with something new and something, yeah, something I can learn. And it's true that one of the counterparts of this on the negative side is that I don't like routine. So you cannot see me to a chair and keep me with the same routine for a long time. I will have to find new challenges. Probably will not be the person for you to have a role for 10 years in the same position with the same team. No. So probably it's like the counterpart of being like curious driven on that side, or challenge addict, will be that the fact that, hey, I need to be stimulated with different
You get
positions,
bored
or
very
at least I
quickly.
like to change.
Yeah, you get work very quickly. I understand you because it's the same for me. So it's not easy for me to keep working on the same things over and over, no? Because there is a world that I want to explore. But yeah, this is crazy, no? This is, I mean, incredible, and it's also something that I like to tell to people when they ask me, no, how do you? I mean, what will? I mean, should I do this? No, should I do this? That out of time there is this question: should I work in this company? Should I try this YouTube channel? Should I try creating my podcast and so on? At the end, the point is that you cannot know what you don't like if you don't start it, right? If you don't do it. So in the worst case, you will learn what you don't like. So it's also a way, no, trying new things, exploring the world. It's also a way to learn a bit more about yourself and what you really like to do, right? And
Sure.
regarding this motivation, staying on the same line, I would like to ask you what has been like the most rewarding project that you have worked with on work one at work.
At Worldcoo, oof, I would say that right now has
Yeah,
been
I
like
know that a lot.
millions of projects, because we have like been working in so many things. And I think one of the biggest challenges is, like, hey, is a company that has been acquired by another company, no? So there are many challenges driven by just the fact of being acquired by another company, no? But I think the biggest challenge that I'm excited about is how to make this company really like scalable, like plug and play, no? How we can become, like, how can we become the go-to product, the go-to company for fundraising. And I think this is the biggest challenge that I'm excited about. I would say that we haven't accomplished it yet. We're on the way to do it. But I think probably this is the most exciting challenge that drives me every day to go to the office. And yeah, this is like way like in progress, I will say. Accomplished, not in progress.
Yeah, and how can listeners can get involved in the
Sorry?
Worldco initiatives?
Sorry?
How can our listeners can? Do you hear me?
Oh, see, 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 see. Perfect. Now, yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I think there is some lag. 1 second.
You can go, eh? And now I listen.
Okay, yeah, sorry, because sometimes I don't see you, so I think that there is a lag. No, I wanted to know how can our listeners can get involved with World Commission and project. I mean, if one person is listening and say, okay, I want to join.
Like, for sure, as a user, donate, 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 donate. Like, press the green button. The 100% of the funds go to the NGOs, like where the company behind screening fund, like every single project, make sure that the money goes where it has to go, and making good. So I think it's like, hey, whenever you're confronted with this option, press the green button, because there are a few cents that can, yeah, that can impact like millions of lives, which is crazy, what you can do with few cents, and a lot of people motivated. So this is first. And second, like, like multiply it, like do it, but also tell people to do it, engage, like, and you don't, it's okay, you don't give the green button all the time, like, you get critical about the project, you want to know more about the project, but get involved, like, get to know more, be curious about it, know what is behind, which project is behind, if you are not convinced about it, ask questions. So yeah, and I think we have like plenty of information, QR codes, information on the store, website, etc. So I think it's like, hey, do good and get informed, like, don't be shy to don't be scared to be informed. But yeah, for sure.
Yes, thank you very much. I mean, I agree with you. Something at the end, a small donation, no? from one person could really save life or making people life better. Sometimes we are so far from where the problems are that we don't really, right? We don't really understand how much impact we can have, no,
No,
in our
and keep
social
it in mind.
circle. So,
Keep it in mind, like
mhm.
average donation at Worldcoo is 18 cents of euro. Like we have raised more than 20 million euros with by 18 cents each
Yeah,
cent,
yeah.
cent by cent, which is
No, it's
crazy.
good to get this insight. Yeah,
No, and funded
yeah, no,
more
it's
than
very good to
800
get this.
projects around the world. And the average donation is 18 cents, which is like, wow. With 18 cents, probably when
Nothing.
I'm going to the supermarket, uh, there's so much I can do, and there's so many projects can be funded, which is like, yeah, I think it's a huge impact. Sometimes it's difficult to understand, no, but it's like such a huge impact with a very very small donation, no, like small donations for big causes. So yeah.
Got it. So we are almost at the end of this episode, unfortunately. So I want to ask you if there is like one lessons, one lessons I would say that you hope people take away from this conversation.
I think try it, no, like go for it. I think that will be like the message, like I mean, your career life will be like, I don't know, 60, 70 years. I don't know how long we will live, no, but you have like millions of years in your career to change, to do million things. You're not like in the last years of the career, you can take risk and try. And if not, you will still learn a lot. You try, you don't make it, you will still learn a lot. And I think it's like, yeah, it's about taking risk and enjoy these changes and the challenges. And I think, yeah, we have like a lot of years in our life to get comfy, and I think when you get comfy is when you have to change. So yeah, I think the lesson I will say, like, hey, try it. There's no try it and see what happens. We're too young to not try, no, that will be the key message, I guess.
Thanks a lot for this, and how people can get like in contact with you and with your projects in general.
Sure. I mean, for Worldco projects, for sure, if you go to worldco.com, you can get a lot of information regarding
Mhm.
Worldco. If not, through LinkedIn, get in touch with me. I'm very open. You can get directly in touch with me. And if not through you, Daniele, you put them in touch with me.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tanya, for this incredible and very insightful conversation. Thanks again for investing time with me, with us. And I mean, I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things from you. And yeah, I would say you summarize very well, the lesson that people can take away from this conversation. Try it, at the end, if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, you learn something about what you
Mm.
like, and you become a better person for sure. You have done something more, and you will become a better person for sure. Thank you very much again, Tanya, and thanks
Yeah.
for everyone that is watching this and listening to this. See you the next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Daniele.